So there are a few things that you're going to want to know before moving to South Jersey. And today you are going to find out how do you find the best place to live in South Jersey. Let's do it. Hi, I'm Kat Quarterman, broker sales associate and team leader of the Quarterman Group powered by Compass. If you came to this channel, you must be looking to relocate to South Jersey, and you're going to want to make sure you click the subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified each and every time a new video is uploaded. We get so many calls from people who are looking to relocate. We absolutely love it. So even if you're just thinking about moving to South Jersey, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll be able to point you in the right city, the right town. So how do you find the perfect area to live in South Jersey? You definitely need to start your research as soon as you know that you will be relocating to South Jersey. Don't wait until the last minute because there's so much to know, so many different towns, so many different vibes that you want to start your research so you can pick the right town for you early on. The first thing that I think is like a real big thing is know your priorities. Know what's important to you. Is it that you need to be in a house of a certain amount of square footage? Do you need to be near public transportation? How far do you want to be in a commute to work, to family, to friends? What kind of vibe are you looking for? What kind of activities are you hoping are nearby? Definitely price range, right? Every town is different for what you get for the amount of money that you want to spend. You also want to make sure if it's important to you to know about the crime, then check into those things. Also about school systems. You want to make sure you do your research. What's great for me may not be great for you. What's great for a friend may not be great for you. So make sure you do your research, and we'll talk about a little bit on how you do that. My favorite place to look for information about a new area is definitely online. Google is my best friend. Not only that, if you're on social media, and I know I might be dating myself, but if you are on Facebook, they have a lot of community forums, community groups in, for different towns in South Jersey. And I would definitely go in, I would join them and just read. You don't always have to comment. I am a great reader. I don't always comment, but I definitely am always reading to hear what's going on, in the different areas. And as you're reading, you'll see, you'll get an idea of the kind of people, right, that live there, the things that they like to do in these community town groups that are on Facebook. They usually post about the different events that are going on. Occasionally you hear about people who may talk about the government or what's happening in their township with their municipal building and things like that, what's being renovated, what's not, what's coming soon that they don't like, that they like. So you get an idea of the kind of town that you would be moving into and the people that you'll be around. Another place that you could look is the township website. A lot of the towns in South Jersey have their own website where they will list things like community activities. They'll also list things about like the utilities in the area and just, things that are going on, in that town. And that gives you an idea. It gives you an idea of the vibe, the lifestyle that may be happening in that town. You also want to make sure you take a trip, at least one trip. I want to say 95% of the families, the people that I work with that are relocating to South Jersey are able to take at least one trip. So they may have a town in mind. They will send me some homes. We'll do some video tours of the homes, of the neighborhoods, and then they make that one weekend trip. Sometimes it's a long weekend, sometimes it's just 2 days. But during that time, we go out and we see as many homes in the community that they chose. And then that then gives me like a good idea of what they may be looking for. And maybe the second day, sometimes that day, because we've been talking so long and you've been sending me so many homes that you like, that I have a good feeling of what you may want. So then I'll add in some homes, and lots of times it's the, the right community or the right town for you. And it could just be based on several things. I have people that say, I don't want my house to be on top of my neighbor's house, or I want a bigger yard space, because certain towns, maybe you might get 0.1 acres of a yard. In other towns, it might be a quarter of an acre, half an acre. So all of that varies, and I think it goes based on what you're looking for in your new home. So definitely, if you can take time to visit, do it. Another thing that families do or people do is they also take time out and they may eat at a restaurant nearby. Definitely, if you see neighbors outside of a house that you're interested in, as long as they look friendly, right? I would say stop them and just say, hey, I'm looking at that house, 123 Main Street, and I'm just interested in knowing, how do you like the neighborhood? How long have you lived here? Most of the neighbors that I've encountered are very friendly, and they will tell you, how long they lived there. I only had one neighbor in a city town that said he didn't like it at all. And he said he didn't like it because it was a city. It's a city that's known for a lot of crime. So he was like, he didn't like that at all. And who would? But really, by the end of the conversation, he lightened up and he said, hey, welcome. So I say stop the neighbors if they look friendly. Just let them know you're looking into a particular house. You're trying to get a feel for the neighborhood, and then you'll get a feel for, them. And usually they tell you about everything that's going on. If they had some new families move in, if they have kids on the block, if they have renters, sometimes they even say that, but it'll give you an idea of the neighborhood and give you a feel if it's in line with what you're looking for. So definitely visit if you can, but not just visit and drive through, but stop and spend some time, whether it's at a local park, at a local restaurant. Spend some time in the community you want to be in. Definitely speak with your real estate agent. As a realtor, we can't really tell you whether something is great, not great, or a great school system, or a great neighborhood, no crime, things like that. I personally think those things are like subjective or objective, but what's good for me may not be good for you. I could think something is great and it's safe, and you can be like, oh no, I don't want to, live there if they're doing that. Same thing with school systems. You could think that a school system is really awesome. I could look into it and I could think that, oh my gosh, there's so many things that they could improve about it. So you want to just make sure that you ask your real estate agent, questions of things that may matter to you, and then they can guide you on where to look. I know for different, for school systems, I will tell people, just like I told you, to look on, Facebook groups and things like that, just to get a feel for the community. For school systems, I'll tell you, one, first, is to call the school and ask to speak with someone. Let them know you're moving, and you're interested in kind of, finding out what kind of curriculum they use. Not to just go by the rating, online, but to actually reach out and talk to someone. And again, those are things that you can get from the different groups as well, by asking people, hi, I'm moving from this state or this town, and I have children that'll be going into the school system. How do you like it? Of course, you'll get mixed feelings. I think you get mixed feelings about everything, but you will get an idea as to whether you think it'll be a good fit for your children or not. And a friend and I were just talking about that earlier. It's different, today. What we may think as parents is good for our child or good for all of our children may not be, so it does go based on the child themselves, on what kind of a school or school system may be the best for that child. So look into it by calling, speaking to other parents, definitely parents that will be in the same, parents of the children that are in the same grade as your children. So mainly a real estate agent can just, give you some guidance based on different things that you may say about whether you don't want to be like in a congested area, you want to be closer to public transportation, close to the highways, maybe it could be based on the style home that you want, the square footage that you're looking for, and definitely budget dictates a lot, because in some areas you may be able to get just a row home or semi-detached home, while in other areas for that same budget it might be just a condo. And just the same for in some areas it might be a 3-bedroom, and other areas it might be a 1 or 2 bedroom. The other important thing that I noticed is that you really want to know the difference between a borough, a township, and a city, because that all matters, right, on the kind of living that you want. Of course, if you are in a city, well, let me just back it up for a second. Whether it's a borough, city, or township, that's really dictated by the kind of government that's there. And that is really based on like the population density, the amenities, the cultural activities, and the lifestyle that the town has to offer. A borough is usually smaller than a city. A township is basically in between. And then you have city life. Townships, they usually consider that to be more rural. A city is more urban, and it has more, transportation, more job opportunities. So you want to make sure that you are considerate of that as you're looking. I know there are towns in Burlington County, such as Palmyra, Willingboro. Then you have townships, Mount Laurel Township. And you can see, right, in Willingboro, you may be closer to more stores. I do feel like in Willingboro, you do get a decent amount of yard space, but all of the electrical is above ground, while in the townships, the electrical will be underground. In the townships, also, everything would be within driving distance. So I wouldn't say that, I can get to the store without having to drive to the store. And so you want to just make sure you're mindful of that, because of course that's going to give you a different vibe, a different lifestyle, depending on which area you choose to live in. When you're looking to move to a different area, you also want to consider any future developments. In our New Jersey contract, you will see that that is a buyer's responsibility, that if it's important to you, whether you don't want to purchase a home where, I'm just going to give you an example, within a mile, there's an empty lot that is being talked about being sold to someone who's going to build, an industrial center or a warehouse or something like that. And you feel that if that happens, the value of your home is going to decrease. So in our New Jersey state contract, it's going to give you some time to reach out to the planning development and kind of see like, hey, are there any future developments going on in the area that I need to be concerned about? And again, it might be a big concern for you. You may not want to live in it, while someone else is like, hey, this is a great opportunity. I know I once read online that if you ended up having like a cannabis store near you, that actually increased the value of your home, while I would have thought that, oh my goodness, that's going to make the value go down. But online, it said that it would increase your value. So I'm not saying everything online is like golden and true, but it definitely gives you some guidelines, I think, on how to kind of think through things to see if it's a best fit for you and your family. So finding the perfect area in South Jersey, I always say go with your instincts. Sometimes we can study so much that we talk ourselves out of something that's great. So you have to trust your instincts, but definitely do some self-study. You can't leave it up to just your real estate agent to know what's best, a friend to know what's best, but do your own research. And a lot of it can be started online, whether you're reading articles that have been written about different towns in South Jersey, or you're asking a friend, or you're in a group forum, a chat group online. You will be able to kind of see a trend on how something is and make that best decision for yourself. So I'm telling you right now, finding the perfect place for you and your family can definitely be a challenge. There's so many different counties, so many different towns located right here in South Jersey. All my team and I have to do is just hear some things that you like, some things that you don't like, what your priorities are, what's important to you. And we'll be able to guide you and direct you to some towns that you could look more into. So whether you're looking for a certain style home, or to be within a certain distance, or to be within a certain budget, we got your back. But the only way that we could help is you got to reach out. So whether it's by phone, text, or email, make sure that you reach out and we'll be sure to help you make your move to South Jersey.